First witness, are you ready?
Although McDonald's loves to see you smile, Robert Rodriguez will never see a smile from his left eye ever again. There are careers he will never be able to consider. His self-image has been altered, and his ability to begin college as a normal teenager has been changed due to the actions of Rachel Citrone. At the end of today's trial, after all the evidence has been presented, and after all the testimony has been given, my co-counsel will stand before you and deliver a closing argument. He will ask that you return the only verdict consistent with the law, the only verdict consistent with the testimony, and the only verdict consistent with common sense. That is a verdict of guilty.
You were at McDonald's on September 1st, 2014, correct?
Yes.
Isn't it true that you and Rachel used to date?
Yes.
And then you bullied Rachel, correct?
No, I do not.
I'd like to switch over to September 1st of 2014. Describe the parking lot.
I saw something fly from Rachel's hand. It looked like some kind of projectile. It was going right for Robbie.
May I proceed, Your Honor? Mrs. Citron, you are the mother of the defendant, yes?
Correct.
Your daughter is a top student in her school, yes?
Correct.
When your daughter accused Mr. Rodriguez of cheating on the PSAT exam and told you about this, you encouraged her to speak to the principal, yes?
Correct.
And you are now aware that at this time, your daughter threw a knife into Mr. Rodriguez's eye, correct?
Yes. Rachel Citrone did not intend to hurt anyone that night she went to McDonald's. She simply expected to have a fun night with friends and reflect on past memories before college started again. But instead, she was involved with a disaster that will affect her life forever. Although each witness saw something in a different way, it is undisputed that Rachel threw an X-Acto pen into Robert's eye. But besides this fact, the testimonies have conflicting information. The testimonies you've heard are very biased. In fact, every single witness is biased.
Your Honor, opposing counsel, on September 1st, 2014, when Mr. Rodriguez went into McDonald's, the only thing he expected to leave behind was his pocket money. But he left something else behind too, his left eye. How did such a tragic event occur? By the unprovoked attack made against Mr. Rodriguez by the defendant, Miss Rachel Citrone. Let's take a look at the uncontested evident facts first. Both the prosecution and the defense agree that the defendant threw a knife. It is also uncontested that the airborne knife went into Mr. Rodriguez's eye. And lastly, it is uncontested that Mr. Rodriguez has suffered permanent, serious bodily injury resulting from this action. I submit to you that after the presentation and explanation of this evidence, you will see that Rachel Citrone not only acted recklessly, but also without justification beyond reasonable doubt. She did so with the intent to harm him, as well as with indifference towards human life. Human life that every human being has the right to live, and with this reckless action, she threatened it. She did this without justification. There was no self-defense, no risk to herself, nor towards her mother, nor towards anyone else at the scene, from the weaponless Mr. Rodriguez, who did nothing to attack anyone. Your Honor, I ask that you return the only verdict consistent with the law, the only verdict consistent with the testimony, and the only verdict consistent with common sense. And that is a verdict of guilty of assault in the first degree.